ChRh has mined out the upper path here, but he's got tanks sieged up, so he won't be able to get in. And double armor he's going for ChRh, so he's definitely going for a couple of upgrades here, interesting enough. And oh, Reaver landing next to a mine there. I have no idea if the Reaver hit that mine there, or if Bisu's immaculate micromanaged to pick up that Reaver before it was hit. That's actually a good question there, because that'll certainly affect Bisu's Reaver harass. Here comes Bisu with another expansion on the upper path. I think he's going to basically try to hold upper path and deny from ChRh. ChRh has his academy up though, so he does have comsat stations up. He will be able to get a much better scout here on Bisu's base. Here comes Bisu with another gateway here. Nowadays, we see Bisu basically, since he has been doing so well, we see him going for a Dark Templar on pretty much every game he plays against Terran. But in this game, certainly he has not gone for those DTs. He's gone for the Reaver tag, and obviously, it's also because this map is Monty Hall, which is probably not so favorable to DTs as it is to Reavers, where you get the shuttles naturally. Here comes Bisu for another harass here on the left side, on the bottom level expansion. That's not going to happen though. I think he does have speed upgrade for his shuttles though. So a lot of people basically requested this game. I do expect it to be epic here. I have not seen the results. I don't know what's going to happen here. I mean, basically this occurred in the Pro League, so it wasn't any kind of the results weren't that important in terms of either players' careers. But certainly a lot of people requested it, so I do hope there's some interesting play here. A lot of gateways going for Bisu inside of space here, and he's got two Reavers inside of his shuttle now. He's going for harass on the middle lane here, and ChRh does have a tank ready, so ChRh doing a good job defending here. He's running his SCVs away, and Bisu looks like he's not going to risk dropping his Reavers. He is going to drop the Reavers, but he's not able to get a Scarab to chase the SCVs. And I think now he's going to have to pull the Reavers back. I don't think he can handle another tank hit. By the way, since you guys love listening about my real life, I was recently watching this episode of Mythbusters, that show on Discovery Channel, and they were talking about how the myth of whether cockroaches would survive a nuclear explosion, and they were irradiating cockroaches to see if they would live through massive amounts of nuclear radiation. And I was just basically wondering, and they were saying basically, roaches are safe to handle after they're irradiated, even if they've been irradiated with 100 times the lethal dose of humans. And I'm just wondering, what about science vessels? How come when they irradiate a unit, that unit continues to irradiate other units and it's just deadly to be around? Actually, that makes no scientific sense unless the science vessel like throws a nuclear piece of nuclear waste or something, plutonium that sticks to the unit that it irradiates. There's no reason why it should irradiate new units. So, yeah, I mean, that just doesn't make sense. Maybe a physics major can answer that for me. Anyway, so Bisu, failing in her harass, is continuing to build up units in the upper path here, I believe. Yes, this is the upper path on Monty Hall. And he has rounded his tech tree here with the Templar Archives. I wonder if he's going to be going for Arbiters soon. I think Arbiters will be a very good idea, though, given that it is a semi-island map, and recalls could be very, very powerful. So yeah, I mean, basically, if you irradiate something, it basically will absorb a lot of damage. So, but it won't continue to spread radiation to everyone else. Basically, you need some radioactive material to be exchanged to it. So, if the science vessel irradiates a Zerg unit, it should basically just die. But it shouldn't be able to infect other units. That's the thing. So yeah, anyway, Bisu now pushing in through the southern path here. I'm not sure if it's mine through. Actually, it is mine through, definitely, because those vultures got there. Bisu is basically trying to find a way to attack. ChRh has 3 bases compared to Bisu's 4 bases, so he's not behind at all. This is basically equity in terms of a Protoss versus Terran match. And I think he's basically trying to build up enough tanks to be able to push out on one of the lanes. Meanwhile, Bisu's trying to go for the attack on the southern path here. And here comes Bisu now. I think ChRh knows this is coming, though. He basically has a couple of tanks on static positions, and he has this sort of response group of tanks and vultures to deal with any attack that should come. Bisu dropping in the middle lane, trying to pick off some turrets so he can get a good harass off with his Reavers. And he's not going to be able to, though, unfortunately. because ChRh actually doing a very, very good job of defending, despite his poor performance and his lack of experience in recent years. I mean, he was famous, as I've said in the other video, for inadvertently discovering Nada back in, I don't know when, like 2001 or something, when Nada played for a pros versus amateurs game, and he beat ChRh, who was a pro at the time, and that was how Nada was discovered in the pros game. Meanwhile, Bisu going for a drop here. Oh man, getting his Reaver killed off here. He's trying to go for a break at the front door. I don't think this is going to succeed though. Zealot's being dropped next to the tanks though, and here comes the break. Bisu actually running a lot of units, so ChRh bringing a response force back to deal with this. He might be able to overrun this base though before ChRh can get reinforcements. He's forced to pull his SCVs and lift up that command center, and it's going to be hard for his tanks to go there. Bisu now retreating. He has lost 2 speed shuttles and all the contents of those shuttles. I wonder if it was worth it though, because ChRh can move the tanks up and retake this expansion. Bisu meanwhile taking the time to get the upper right expansion, so he has 4 bases to I think 5 bases to 3 right now. He's also picked up the 6 o'clock expansion. So he's trying to take an economic lead here. And certainly ChRh does not have his 3rd expansion up, so it's really 5-2 here. But ChRh has dropships of his own, and we'll see where he decides to drop them. What the dropships contain, I'm going to guess they contain a mixture of vultures and tanks. And a science facility already up for ChRh, so he's going to be trying to get that +2 attack here. Unfortunately, this VOD is quite old, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see the level upgrades here. Now he's going for a drop at the upper right here. Bisu trying to do a counter drop with one Reaver there, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Bisu is probably not going to be able to microwave. Whoa, he's actually killing off 2 tanks, so maybe I'm completely wrong. Only 2 Goliaths for ChRh. He's going to need to focus on the shuttle. Here he comes, focusing on the shuttle. The shuttle goes down, and wow, Bisu's Reaver actually goes down, so ChRh may be able to defeat this upper right expansion here. It could happen, and ChRh now actually hitting this expansion at the middle right. I thought he was going to try and take down the Nexus at the upper right, but looks like he's using the light to take care of it. I think he just spotted the cannons here. He doesn't lose any dropships though, fortunately for him. And Bisu, basically, he's going to actually ignore this destruction that's occurring at his base. That's interesting. I think he realizes he can't get there very easily because he has to go all the way around, first to the 1 o'clock corner and then to go south towards those tanks. So I guess he's going to let those probes die. He has a Stargate up and a Arbiter Tribunal, I believe. I have no idea what that sign works, but there's Boxer, by the way. And now frontal attack going in for ChRh. I'm sorry, going for Bisu. ChRh is a little slow in sieging up his siege tanks, and the Zealots are getting amongst his tanks. This could be the end for ChRh. He's getting a lot of units destroyed here. He does have a science facility. Oh, defense matrixing that tank, but that's not going to last long. I think, though, he might be able to hold this Psionic Storm going off on ChRh's tanks and all of his units, but he barely manages to hold there. Now he's sending his vultures for a counterattack here, killing off the High Templar. Nice work by ChRh, a living fossil from the early days of StarCraft. I mean, this guy is 26 years old, and he's facing the bourgeois of StarCraft in 2007, and it's amazing he's managed to survive into, I think, the 15th minute of the game here, 17th minute of the game. I expected this game to be over by now, and anyway, he is going for harass now on the right side. He might actually be able to take down that middle right expansion. I think his tanks on the ridge are in range of that Nexus, and it looks like he probably will be able to take it down. ChRh is going to pick off that expansion. I think he'll be able to pick up the upper right then. And then Bisu will be hugely behind in his economics. He'll have the same number of expansions as ChRh, and he'll have lost all of those probes. And that's something you don't want to happen as a Protoss player against a Terran. And here comes Bisu, perhaps thinking about doing a counterattack up there. ChRh now bringing his tanks up to the upper right. He's still a little bit slow, as you can see with his multitasking, getting one of those Goliaths killed there by Photon Cannon, which was unnecessary. But, I mean, you can't blame him. He's gone for an excellent strategy so far in this game, basically predicting his opponent's moves in every path. And, you know, just doing a great job. Bisu trying to set up an expansion at the left side 6 o'clock base. And ChRh has a covert ops up, so ChRh is going to be going for some ghosts here. Absolutely amazing. Or some nukes. So I can see why people recommend this game now. He's going to either go for ghosts and lockdown, or to go for